Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Tuesday, April 1st, 2025. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Here.
Mr. Coghill?
Here.
Ms. Gross? Mr. Mosley?
Here.
Mrs. Cale Smith? Mrs. Strasburger?
Here.
Mrs. Warwick? Mr. Wilson? Mr. Lavelle, President?
Here.
5 members present.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The agenda has been amended. Our next order of business is proclamations, and we have one today. So will all the wonderful women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated please come forward? Come to the left here. Yes, it'll be tight, but you can all fit. Everyone in red can come forward if they want to. It's up to you.
Everyone, come on.
Everybody,
We can come down here.
Morning. Morning, ladies. You all look so sharp. Yeah.
They'll be here next month.
Can we have the committee up front? The committee up front, please.
Committee up front. Committee up front. She says.
Moreno. Committee up front, please.
And there's steps in the back. You just stand on that girl.
It's committee, good. Ebony, good.
No, come on. There you go. You're good. Before reading the proclamation, what I'll simply say is, one, as I watched you all come forward, I did not realize how many Deltas actually knew. So I want to thank you all for all the wonderful work that you all do here within our city. I want to thank you for your commitment to our city, and we want to take a moment to recognize your organization as well as Delta Days. Whereas the City of Pittsburgh takes great pride in recognizing and celebrating the distinguished legacy and ongoing impact of the Pittsburgh Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and its members as they commemorate Delta Days in Pittsburgh 2025. Whereas Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated was founded on January 13, 1913 by 22 visionary collegiate women of African American descent at Howard University who committed themselves to the principles of scholarship, sisterhood, and service. And whereas for more than a century, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated has remained at the forefront of social change, guided by its 5-point programmatic thrust, which focuses on economic development, educational development, international awareness and involvement, physical and mental health, and social action. Whereas the Pittsburgh Alumni Chapter, chartered in 1927, has for nearly a century demonstrated through its members' unwavering dedication to advancing the public good, meeting the evolving needs of the community through innovative programming, bold advocacy, and a steadfast commitment to social justice. Whereas Delta Sigma Days in Pittsburgh serves as an extension of a nationally recognized tradition that engages Delta members in meaningful dialogue with civic leaders at every level of government, including the United States Capitol, state legislators, and the United Nations, and reflects Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated's continued mission to promote leadership, advocacy, and empowerment to effect social change and policies. And whereas Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated boasts an international membership exceeding 350,000 women of distinction, with more than 275 members belonging to the Pittsburgh Alumni Chapter. These members have made notable contributions to civic life, education, health equity, and social impact in Pittsburgh, serving across sectors while exemplifying the highest standards of public service and community uplift. And now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare April 1st, 2025 to be Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Day in the City of Pittsburgh. May we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It is approved. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you. I believe, let's see. All right, here we go.
Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to the City Council of Pittsburgh for this incredible honor. Receiving this proclamation from the City of Pittsburgh is not just a reminder of Delta Sigma Theta sorority and its acknowledgement of the collective efforts of our members and the communities we serve. This proclamation underscores the importance of civic engagement, empowerment, and service of all values that are at the heart of our organization. We will take this recognition as a source of motivation, reaffirming our commitment to advocacy for the needs and the dreams of families and individuals in our community. As we move forward, we intend to leverage this honor to deepen our partnerships with the city leadership and other organizations. Together, we can continue to address critical issues, foster holistic development, and work towards a more equitable society. Thank you once again for this meaningful recognition and for the support of our mission, service, and advocacy. Together, we can continue to build a better Pittsburgh. I thank you.
I'm gonna ask members to come up, but just want to remind us all that their purpose here today is actually to engage us. And so after our meeting, I believe at 12 and at 1 maybe? Just noon? Okay. Some of the members were actually going to stay to have a conversation with us back in our conference room about what's happening in our city and concerns they have and how we can collectively work together. So I just want to remind members of that. If we'd all be willing to come up for a picture. Members should probably stand up here.
Hi, congratulations. You got it?
Hold on, Chris, hold on 1 second. Nope, they're still organizing.
You can't see us, we can't see you.
No, you're good.
All right, look at me, keep smiling. Keep smiling.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you.
How you doing? Yeah. Oh man, I got like a smudge.
And we have 2 proclamations to be read into the record, both from Councilwoman Smith.
Councilwoman Teresa Cale Smith presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Thursday, April 3rd, 2025 to be Michelle Wednesday Day in the City of Pittsburgh. And she also presents, be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Wednesday, April 2nd, 2025 to be Shamika Zaire Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Both proclamations have been approved. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation, which may before city council. Profanity will not be permitted. After you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first and actually only registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Miller.
Dr. Ronald and Miller, the Mexican War Streets, Teotihuacan, Mexico, University of Pittsburgh, theory of sports inventor and instructor. I'm the Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2028, Global Information Intelligence Network.net. Concerns of council include a focus on the child, and also baseball, given Mr. Lavelle's will of counsel on Roberto Clemente in February. This is consistent with my Initiative 4, where I think the child must come first locally and nationally. The Pirate opener is 3 days away against the Yankees. 1960, the Pirates won against the Yankees. Y9, P9, 9th inning. Number 9, Mazeroski hits a home run in the greatest game in the history of baseball, I think. Roberto Clemente in 1971, after the World Series win, fusing Espanol and English, he said this, if I was president of the United States, I would build a sports city and take in kids from all ways of life. Why not? We in the city and the country need Clemente's intense, non-slop fusion of high info and high Q intelligence. Number 21 Pirates play fused 21 information and intelligence vectors. Roberto Clemente, the thrower, strategically chose the trapezoidal geography of right field more than left field and center field because it maxed outing runners from all bases. History in seconds of a Crenshawian economics, intersectional, he was always up all night, international astroanthropos, Roberto Clemente, Walker throw in infinity-bounded baseball space. Here it goes. As a runner leaves first base going to third, 180 feet, Clemente ejects overhand, long fingers over cowhide and cotton seams, no muscle bulk, whiplash arm, bullet, a physics bullet, baseball bullet, projected using electrophysical energy produced by his brain, neural and biosomatically tightened and chemically infused with fruit, honey, and other elements. He threw this ball, and it got there before the runner. If only the person was running as fast as Asafa Powell, and I think we need this kind of thing in the city. I think we need his light and not his darkness, not his fatalism.
Thank you very much. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone in chambers wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Provide your name and neighborhood for the record.
Hi, my name is Bernadette. I'm from Beachview. The past week, I had to do some heavy-duty research of my soul and of what's in front of us. And I no longer support Corey O'Connor. I am 100% for Gainey for his bold move and wanting to make inclusionary housing citywide. Back in 1996, my family and I were in the heart of fighting against then Frank Gigliotti and Harry Reid Shaw when they wanted to go back to segregated neighborhoods. Gainey's bill is the only bill that will give these kids hope. going back to neighborhoods, young families who cannot get into housing because they have a family of children. It's not working. And sadly enough, there are people working for Corey that are involved with these pro-housing groups under YIMBY. I was called a NIMBY. There was a statement that was made when I asked, don't you support people having the right to vote on zoning changes and coding changes? Because that's what this movement is all about. And I was told, a person's right to vote on zoning and coding changes should not go beyond their property line. Bull crap. That spells segregation to me. Thank you, Ed Gainey. There is so much more to what's happening, but I will not, as long as there's a breath in my body, see our community go back to segregated neighborhoods when Washington is trying to take away every kind of inclusionary chance that these kids have. And I'm sorry, Corey, but neighborhood by neighborhood inclusionary housing decodes to segregation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Special Agent Sunshine. I just wanted to give any and everybody who does not know when the next Port Authority public meeting is. I was able to find it because none of the drivers, supervisors, anybody knew. The next Planned and Stakeholder Relations Committee Port Authority meeting is April 17th at 8:30 a.m. It doesn't say where. Please Google it, look it up. I just found the date and the time. Lord, I return to sender any voodoo hexes, curses sent towards me, 100 million, billion, trillion, googleplex, and whoever's sending it, Lord, please throw them in the lake of fire. Why do you find this humorous? It's not, because these people do it. And I've had it sent to me without protecting myself, so now I protect myself by any means necessary in Jesus' name. A woman said to me the other day that I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. But guess what I do have? A heart, which is something neither of you have. Because there's over 47,000 people in this state in the street, and we just got back out of the overflow shelters yesterday, and I'm one of them. God is making y'all look at me. His favor real. I stand on it. 1 Samuel 16:7 says, people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. That's what he looks at. He's the one that makes it beat. He's the one that gives you every breath you take. But y'all take that for granted. So now he wants to know who's the next heart he gonna stop. Those hardened hearts, the ones that don't see the poor, those, he's stopping them. Just wanted me to bring you that message. Here's some wisdom for you. Proverbs 21:13 says, those who shut their ears to the cries of the poor will be ignored in their own time of need. Get ready for it, because y'all coming out here with us. I promise you, he's not playing with y'all. Y'all coming? People are going to be amazed to see y'all out here with us, too. It's not going to be a shock. Proverbs 21:21 says, whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. And that's what I'm out here pursuing. I'm determined to fight injustice with his word. That's what I'm going to use, his word. I'm dancing like David in regards to my injustice. Y'all took everything from me, my whole identity, everything that belongs to me that has my real name on it. Y'all took it. So I say to you, Donald Trump, what you going to do when they come for you? Because the same people standing next to you are going to do it to you if you don't fix this fraud in our government. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is BJ Sampson, and I live in the 11th Ward, 4th District. proud to have Kahari Mosley as my council representative. But I stand before you today representing the underprivileged and persons who are without a voice. Why am I standing here? I'm here to talk about the lack of seeing minorities on contracts. As we begin to enter the summer and the springtime, when a lot of construction will be taking place, you'll see on many of the signs that says, your tax dollars at work. Well, when I see my tax dollars at work, I expect to see someone who looks like me, or my brother, or my uncle. I expect to see that, but yet, I don't. In each and every last one of the council persons' area, there are minorities that exist that need jobs. And with Trump and the various administrations laying off people, you're not gonna have a hard problem finding persons to fill those jobs. I ask that you please, please, consider hiring minorities and people who need to work, who are out of your district and need to have representation where they can be proud, where their children can look at them as gaining full employment. Please consider your tax dollars at work a duty that you owe to your citizens and your community. In addition to me being a member of Delta Sigma Theta, I'm also a committee woman. And I've seen each and every one of you at the endorsement day. I'd like to be able to shake your hands at the next endorsement, say thank you for following through with making sure minorities are at all of the construction sites. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, my name is Javon F. Brown. When all these beautiful ladies started walking up here, I almost snuck in the bunch with them. But I wanted to come down to explain. Now, some of you may know I've been coming down here for years. Over 20-something years I've been coming. And all the years that I've been coming here, when you speak about the Hill District, you also hear how bad it is and how dangerous it is. I remember KDKA, the one man was hollering, yeah, you criminals up there in the hill, you're going to jail. And that was the time when O'Connor had in his district in Squirrel Hill, if a child got in any kind of problems, they had a person that they would get that they could contact, and they would pay any restitution that needed to be paid. Unlike with black children, you go right to juvenile court or to jail. Now, you talk about the Hill District being so bad and so dangerous. But you know something? Traveling through the Hill District where I live at, as I was going down Wally Avenue, up by the restaurant, up at the top of Wally, we're looking and there's deer, about 20 or 30 laying down. And over across the street there was about 5 or 6 more. My grandbaby said, look at the deer. I thought they couldn't lay down because we heard horses can't lay down, but they're sick, they can't lay down, but they do lay down. But do you understand? You people say how dangerous the hill is. The wild animals, God's animals, know where to come. They know you ain't coming up there. Because you know why they ain't coming? I can remember Miss Gross, and I really don't care for her, and it was because of what she said. She said, when they were getting a new police chief, they had said they would come to every neighborhood. Well, she stood up and said, me and Bill Peduto decided that all the Hill District would come to Lawrenceville. That means 2 buses to get there, and they only have to take 1. When we would come to speak at city council, all we had to do is take 1. Why would you make us go to Lawrenceville? But you know something? I'm telling you that I'm going to keep coming and fighting because you need to hear the people. Just like your president said, that beautiful woman, you hear how she said? You need to hear us. I was at I'm talking fast, but please excuse me. You need to hear this. I was somewhere, and I said I had went to Jamaica. Well, there was a Jamaican man, so he's asking me, where did I go? I knew Kingston, but then I said, wait a minute, there's a mountain, real tall mountain, where there had been a Jamaican man and the white woman, they had run away. They had told them, come back, we will not kill you, you can be together. But they jumped off and killed themselves.
Thank
now,
you, Ms.
the Jamaican
Brown.
man didn't know. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we'll turn to the presentation of the papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources.
Chair of the papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
No papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Kale Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services. Sorry. Councilman Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Kahari Mosley presents Bill 1681, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of Pennsylvania Municipal League for 1-year subscription in an amount not to exceed $52,962.24. Bill 1682, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission in the amount of $72,500 for delinquent debts owed by the City of Pittsburgh for 811 damage prevention calls. Bill 1683, resolution replacing Resolution 366 of 2019, effective June 14, 2019, authorizing the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh to acquire all the city's right, title, and interest, if any, into the publicly owned property in the 15th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, designated in the Deed Registry Office of Allegheny County as Block 56B, Lot 345, Council District Number 5, at no cost to the city. Bill 1684, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Land Bank for the sale of Block 10J, lots 259 and 260 in the 5th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, Aaron Street, Council District Number 6, at no cost to the city. And Bill 1685, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh and Island Avenue Holdings, LLC, for the sale of Block 21D, Lot 42A, in the 27th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, Island Avenue, Council District Number 2, at no cost to the city. And Bill 1686, resolution approving execution of a contract for disposition by sale of land between the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh Land Bank for the sale of Block 83A, Lot 48, in the 11th Ward of the City of Pittsburgh, North Aiken Avenue, Council District Number 9, at no cost to the city.
And now, Councilwoman Kale Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services. Councilwoman Strasburger.
No new
Councilwoman
papers,
Smith.
Mr. President.
Thank you. And now, Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill 1687, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant in favor of County of Allegheny in an amount not to exceed $13,647 over 1 year in full and final settlement of a claim for damage to the glycol line sidewalk heating system at the Allegheny County Courthouse by Domi Traffic Division during sign placement on the Forbes Avenue sidewalk area of the courthouse on December 3rd, 2024.
And Councilwoman Warwood, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Barbara Warwick presents Bill 1689, resolution amending Resolution Number 803 of 2024, entitled Resolution Authorizing the Mayor of the City of Pittsburgh and the Director of the Office of Management and Budget to apply for a grant from Pennsylvania Department of Economic Development's Multimodal Transportation Fund for the Penn Avenue Lighting Project. The grant proposal includes an ask of $461,856 for this stated purpose. To accept the grant, reduce the grant amount, and authorize necessary expenditures. And Bill 1690, resolution amending resolution number 133 of 2024, titled Resolution Authorizing the Mayor and the Director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement or agreements or the use of existing agreements between the City of Pittsburgh and Pashek plus MTR for the professional design services for Fort Pitt Park Phase 1 improvements at a cost not to exceed $300,000 by increasing the total city cost by $115,170 for a new total city cost not to exceed $415,170 over 1 year.
And Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Bobby Wilson presents Bill 1691, resolution transferring the amount of $33,292 within the 2025 operating budget from City Council District's salaries and wages regular to City Council District's employees' benefits for the purpose of tuition reimbursement.
And I have 4. If we could first read the appointment.
Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle presents Bill 1692, resolution appointment Isabella Gross as a member of the Shade Tree Commission with a term to expire March 1st, 2029.
And we need a motion to either interview or approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The appointment has been approved, and now we have 3 communications.
Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle also presents Bill 1693, communication from Jake Pollock, Director of Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended March 28, 2025. And Bill 1694, communication from Jake Pollock, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, submitting a donation to the Department of Public Safety from Pittsburgh Cultural Trust for the purchase of smoke detectors to be given to city residents in the amount not to exceed $500. And Bill 1697, communication from Sushila Namani Stanger, Executive Director of the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh, submitting the Affordable Housing Bond 2024 Annual Performance Report dated March 28, 2025.
Need a motion to read, receive, and file?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All bids have been read, received, and filed. That takes us to the reports of the Committee for Final Action, beginning with Councilwoman Erica Strasburg, representing the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill 1677, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for March 26, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1639, resolution amending resolution number 564 of 2024, which authorized 36 open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors to provide professional services on an on-call basis as required related to various professional services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 annually for a 3-year term, and providing for funding of the costs thereof by authorizing 56 additional open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors for same various professional services. Bill 1640, resolution amending resolution number 565 of 2024, which authorized 36 open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors to provide professional services on an on-call basis as required related to various professional services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $750,000 annually for a 3-year term, and providing for funding of the costs thereof by authorizing 56 additional open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors for same various professional services.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
8 ayes.
The bill having received the legal required number of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Barbara Ward, presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilwoman Barbara Warwick presents Bill 1678. Report of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for March 26, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1641, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of Canon Tools for the purchase of one MaxScan tool used to repair DPW vehicles in the amount of $13,499.98 over 1 year. And Bill 1664, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of United Rentals in the amount of $35,025 for the purpose of portable restroom rentals and servicing throughout the city's parks system at various locations, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
8 ayes.
The bill having received the legal required number of votes is passed finally, and that takes us to Councilwoman Deborah Gross, presenting the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Deborah L. Gross presents Bill 1679, report of the Committee on Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology for March 26, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1635, resolution authorizing the mayor and the city solicitor to enter into a professional service agreement or agreements with SciComm Data Systems, Inc. for computer services relating to continuing maintenance, support, and upgrades to city law, the Department of Law's current legal case management and administrative support software system, for an amount not to exceed $11,424 over 1 year.
You have heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
8 ayes.
The bill having received the legal required number of votes is passed finally. And finally, Councilman Kari Mosley, presenting the Committee of Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Kahari Mosley presents Bill 1680, report of the Committee on Intergovernmental and Educational Affairs for March 26, 2025, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1636, resolution authorizing a cooperation agreement or agreements providing for the transfer of funds not to exceed $125,000 to the City of Pittsburgh Equipment Leasing Authority for the purchase of vehicles for the Department of Public Works, Bureau of Environmental Services. This expenditure is associated with grant funds that the city will receive from the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection from the 902 Municipal Recycling Grant. Bill 1637, resolution authorizing the issuance of a warrant payable in favor of the Chartiers Valley District Flood Control Authority to renew the City of Pittsburgh's membership into the CVDFCA and pay fees for the year 2025 in an amount not to exceed $17,204 over 1 year. And Bill 1638, resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works and/or the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into a cooperation agreement with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership, providing for assignment of ownership and maintenance of certain infrastructure to be constructed by the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership for the improvement of Market Square at no cost to the city.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
8 ayes.
The bill, having received the required number of votes, is passed finally. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything from members? Councilwoman Gross, and I saw Councilman Mosley as well. I'm sorry, Councilwoman Strasburger. It's been a long morning. Sorry.
Understand. It's been a long morning so far. I would like to make a motion to call for a post agenda on the Oakland bid, OBID.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We will work with you to get that scheduled. Councilman Mosley.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate the Neighborhood Academy Bulldogs on winning the Class A state championship last week in Hershey, and kudos to Dr. Anthony Williams for the great job he does running the school, and I also want to give a shout out to Courtney Wallace, whose father I played with at Perry, and I wish him the best as he goes on to New Haven to play for Yale. As a basketball player, and obviously clearly he's a great student athlete as well. So looking forward to inviting them down to council chambers on the 29th of April to honor them. So kudos.
You've had 2 championships in 2 weeks. Congratulations. Anything else from members? If not, we did read, receive, and file the annual report on the affordable housing bond that we took out, that we had very lengthy conversations over whether or not we should do. And so I think it's worthwhile having a discussion of what those dollars are being used for and how they're being deployed. So if someone would offer up a motion to hold a post agenda on the affordable housing bond.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll work to get that scheduled as well. That takes us to meeting announcements. This afternoon at 1 o'clock, council will hold an executive section on Bill 1687 as it relates to ongoing litigation matters. Also this afternoon at 12 o'clock, council will hold a briefing on Delta Days in Pittsburgh, hosted by the Pittsburgh Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. Tomorrow, Wednesday, April 2nd, council will hold our standing committee meeting at 10 a.m. Speaker registration will close at 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. To register to speak at this meeting, please fill up the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage by the deadline. You may also call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. And on Wednesday afternoon, with sessions at 2 and 3, council will hold a briefing with Stout Consultants on affordable housing strategies for Pittsburgh. Thursday, April 3rd, with sessions at 2 and 3, council will hold a briefing to discuss the conflict of interest policy for public service grant selection process. Councilwoman Smith was absent, so we need a motion to excuse the absent member, approve the minutes, and adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.